Explaining the meme. Lottery, win, and taxes. Have you ever imagined winning a $2 billion lottery only to walk away with just $424 million after taxes? Well, that's exactly what happened to one lucky winner in California. They hit the jackpot, but after taxes, over $1.5 billion was taken away. The funny part? While real billionaires often find ways to legally avoid high taxes, lottery winners get taxed hard, with no loopholes. That's why the tweet below jokes, "Imagine winning the lottery and suddenly becoming the only billionaire getting properly taxed." Some eye-opening facts. If you choose a lump sum payout, you only get about 60% of the prize. Then, federal and state taxes take away 37% or more. End result? From $2 billion down to $424 million. If you won the lottery, would you take the lump sum or the yearly payments to reduce taxes? Let me know in the comments. Down. What's really happening in this Texas? Measles outbreak photo. Look at this image. Do you notice anything strange? This is a measles testing site in Texas, but there's no one there. According to CBS Mornings, Texas is facing a measles outbreak, with over 120 reported cases across 9 counties. Emergency services have set up mobile testing units to contain the spread. But in this photo, the site looks completely empty. No long lines, no rush, just one medical worker sitting under a tent. Some people believe this is proof of media exaggeration, making the outbreak seem worse than it really is. If measles is such a big crisis, then why is the testing site deserted? Maybe the picture was taken during a slow period, not reflecting the actual number of cases. It's also possible that most patients are going to hospitals instead of outdoor testing sites. So, what's the truth? This image raises questions about how outbreaks are reported in the media, but it could also just be a misleading moment in a much bigger situation. Under capitalism, man oppresses man. Under socialism, it's the other way around. At first glance, it sounds profound, but if you think about it, the sentence literally says that oppression exists in both systems, just reversed. This contradiction makes it sound nonsensical, which is likely why people find it funny. But did AOC really say this? No, this quote isn't actually from AOC. It's a distorted version of an old joke about economic systems. The phrase has been misattributed to various political figures over the years. Why is this meme popular? Supporters might share it to highlight AOC's boldness on capitalism versus socialism. Critics share it as satire, suggesting that her arguments are contradictory. Either way, it sparks debate on economic systems and political ideologies. Bill Gates is sinking in quicksand, and the big question is, what are you throwing him? Some see him as a tech visionary and philanthropist, while others view him as a symbol of corporate power or push conspiracy theories about him. The humor comes from the implied double meaning. Will you throw him a lifeline or something else? Bill Gates is often at the center of big debates, from Microsoft's dominance to global health initiatives and AI development. This viral post is causing major debates online. A tweet from Gerald Posner claims that a 15-year-old girl in Washington state refused to play against an 18-year-old male in a junior varsity basketball game, and as a result, she was charged with bullying, harassment, and intimidation for misgendering. The post suggests that women's sports are being turned upside down due to gender identity policies. It implies unfairness when biological males are allowed to compete in female sports. The legal charges for misgendering are seen by many as extreme. This fits into a bigger cultural and political debate about fairness in women's sports. Some say protecting female athletes is the priority, while others argue for inclusivity and trans rights. The top panel suggests that some people demand tolerance and acceptance for their beliefs and way of life. The bottom panel then claims that those same people show hostility towards others who have differing views. It points to the hypocrisy in certain activist or political movements, where tolerance is expected one way, but not both ways. It resonates with people who feel their beliefs are being unfairly attacked. It taps into the culture war between different ideologies, whether political, social, or religious. It's simple but effective. A great meme format that delivers a strong punchline. What's the controversy? NPR claims that some white people choose the default yellow emoji because it feels neutral. But some academics argue that opting out of a skin tone emoji shows a lack of awareness about white privilege. Essentially, the post suggests that whiteness has been treated as the default in society, making people unaware of their racial identity when using emojis. Why are people reacting so strongly? Many believe this overcomplicates an innocent emoji choice. Others argue it's a real issue about race perception in digital communication. Some see it as divisive rather than productive. This viral post claims that Abraham Lincoln paid reparations through the Freedmen's Bureau in 1865, providing 40 acres, a mule, and resources to freed black men until Democrats supposedly ended it in 1872. But is this the full story? 1. The 40 acres and a mule promise came from General Sherman's Special Field Order No. 15, issued in 1865. 3. Andrew Johnson, Lincoln's successor, overturned the order, returning land to white former owners. Some aid was provided, but it was not a full-scale reparations program. The Freedmen's Bureau was defunded and dismantled by 1872, but both political parties had a role in its decline. This topic ties into modern debates about reparations. Some argue that past promises were broken, while others claim assistance was already given. Thank God she's okay. The meaning of the words and image can be interpreted in two ways. It is clear that she is seriously injured, but the words make it seem as if, as long as a certain part of her body is not injured, she is still fine. This implies a distorted or extreme view of human worth. The meme may be reflecting how some people judge others not based on their overall health, but only on certain aspects. The image shows two masked men holding weapons, representing fired IRS agents. They have moved away from collecting taxes in the usual way and have turned to direct robbery. The headline emphasizes the idea that the tax system is a form of legal extortion where people have to pay whether they want to or not. This satire relies on exaggeration. In reality, the IRS does not engage in extortion in this way, but the image uses an extreme comparison to emphasize the sense of injustice that some people may feel about paying taxes. It reflects the views of those who criticize the government, because they believe that the tax system is unfairly taking money from people. This image may appear in the context of a debate about increasing the IRS budget or expanding its powers. Some people believe that the IRS has too much power to control personal finances, and this is a form of humorous protest. Images like this can influence public perception and make people rethink tax policies. Even if they are just a joke, they can reinforce stereotypes or spark debate about the power of the state over personal finances. The image shows two masked men holding weapons, representing fired IRS agents. They have moved away from collecting taxes in the usual way and have turned to direct robbery. The headline emphasizes the idea that the tax system is a form of legal extortion where people have to pay whether they want to or not. This satire relies on exaggeration. In reality, the IRS does not engage in extortion in this way, but the image uses an extreme comparison to emphasize the sense of injustice that some people may feel about paying taxes. It reflects the views of those who criticize the government, because they believe that the tax system is unfairly taking money from people. This image may appear in the context of a debate about increasing the IRS budget or expanding its powers. Some people believe that the IRS has too much power to control personal finances, and this is a form of humorous protest. Images like this can influence public perception and make people rethink tax policies. Even if they are just a joke, they can reinforce stereotypes or spark debate about the power of the state over personal finances.